I think I got everything set up right. I never do know when I'm doing this. Oh, did I make it public? Well, somebody's in there. So maybe I did make it public. I'm bad about not doing it. What's up, Brian? What is going on, Big Malone? Yeah, I did make it public. Yeah, I ain't real great at this. We are in Orlando, Florida. And just to be honest with you, geeks, I'm gonna get a little more comfortable because I just drove about 11 hours. So I'm gonna jump in the bed here and talk a little bit of ICAST with you. Figured I'd come in and see what you all want to see or would like to see. What's going on, Corey? What's going on, Scott? Uh, yeah, I am. I'm in Orlando. Just got here a few hours ago. Well, about an hour ago. How did that basket cat fit? I don't know. What's going on, Shane? How you doing, man? But anyway, so 23 of you, we are down at ICAST. Yes, I am in the hotel room and I am laying in the bed. Uh, what's going on, Sloth? So we figured we'd just kind of hit it a little, quick and say, hey, Mike's over here. Say hey, Mike.
Hey guys.
He's getting the camera stuff ready. And cool, yes, that is good that it popped up in your notifications. Because I ain't sure, after all the stuff we've been through, I don't know what Google's doing, ain't doing, might be sending out who they've unsubscribed, all that fun stuff. But we're down at ICAST, man, and we're just taking it easy. So I figured I'd holler at you and see what y'all want to see. If you know of any good products that's going on or coming out that you want to check out, let me know. We'll get after them. The show kicks off tomorrow. I think registration started today at like around 3. But you couldn't really do anything or get anything, but you can go in and register. We'll hit it tomorrow. Tomorrow they have the on the water stuff. And let me know, I'm sitting like right beside this AC unit, so if it's blowing on you and you can hear it and it's driving you crazy, let me know. But it runs through Friday, so we'll be here from today through Friday. Kayaks, yeah, we'll check out some of those, probably especially tomorrow since they've got some of the on the water stuff. Now, I'm probably not the guy that's going to deep dive on a kayak. I just don't know that much about them. Hopefully might get to run into one of the guys that's down here in Florida, and he does a lot of kayak stuff. It'd be nice to actually accidentally run into him. I've never been down. This is my third time. We didn't go last year. I've never been down for the on the water stuff. So I don't even know where it's at technically. I mean, I know there's some ponds. I think we'll have to go around the back of the building and figure that out. So we'll see how that goes. But I just figured I'd jump on here, man, tell you all that we're down here to let you know kind of what's coming. We are going to film. We're going to do some videos down here. We may do some live streams while we're down here. And we're going to check out some baits. We're going to see what's here, what's worth checking out. Hopefully going to meet some really cool people. We're going to get to meet up and hang out with the guys from Duo, which is going to be cool. We're going to hopefully going to get to meet up with the Tackle Warehouse guys. Their camera guys are going to be down here. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on, and you know what we're going to be doing. I hope to see some pretty cool stuff. I hope to see some innovative stuff. That's what I want to see. A lot of new ploppers, but I don't know. How do you guys feel about that sort of stuff? That sort of stuff is like, okay, yay, you build another plopper. Whoopity doo. What's up, Yak Man? What's up? I mean, I don't know. You can actually see. See if I can spin this around. Out the curtains here. There's I don't know where there's the actual little arch right there, the building where everybody goes. You see it over there. So we're just across the street from it. DT12 is always great. I mean, a new DT. I don't know, the 14 is, to me, always a good one, but never got enough love, I didn't think. The 8, I was really happy to see them come out with an 8. That was a good one. I don't know. What are you geeks thinking? I mean, what do y'all think about, okay, everybody's coming out with a plopper now, so is it like a little too little, a little too late? Is it, better mousetrap sort of thing? What are we talking? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. They probably will. As a matter of fact, I think I seen something that they had some new baits. A lot of stuff so far that I've seen, like, there's a few new reels, Quantum. I got to sit in on a couple things from some of the Rather companies. I'm not affiliated with them, with Luz or anybody, but there was some new stuff from Luz, and most of everything's almost just like kind of revamped. And I wonder if that's not because of the whole trade issue. A lot of stuff that I've been seeing is more, hey, we've got new sizes and colors, and do you get excited about that? And I don't. I mean, unless it's a good color. What's up, Florida Bass Fishing Tips? I live on Lake Harris. I'd love to go, but I probably am not going to have time to go do that because I literally have to drive home another 10 to 11 hours Saturday and then go straight on night shift Sunday. So I want to try and get unpacked and get a little bit of rest. But yeah, I would love to go. Rage minnows, yeah, they look good. But yeah, plopper, Yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of it is just marketing. That's the one thing, like, I'm really excited to get to meet the guys from Duo, because I think they're one of the companies that are putting out some of the innovative products. Like if you haven't seen that last video, the Middo Pico. I mean, you're talking about a hard bait with a tail that floats up, that has a treble hook on it, has a little ball in the front that waits, so you can work it on the bottom like it's a feeding bait fish, or you can mid-stroll it, I mean, and it's got a roll just like I think one of the best baits that I've seen with the roll, probably the Jackal. Daggone it, Mike, I always forget that. Drift fry is probably one of the best that's got a roll. And, along with probably Raid's fish roller, if you rig it right, it's a little tough to rig. But I think that's why I'm such a big fan of the Queen tackle rolling strolling head. It's a pain in the butt to tie a loop knot on it, but because it'll get wrapped around the head, so you have to tie a really small loop knot on it. But it'll make anything roll and stroll, if you know what I'm saying. Night shift, yes, night shift. I'm pretty well sick of that. I'm ready to give that away pretty hard. But yeah, I've seen a lot of previews for some stuff so far. And I'll tell you what I'm going to be looking for, and you geeks know where I'm going to be. Yeah, sure, I'm going to go hit the big companies, and they get all the press and the views and the likes and all that stuff. But you geeks know, me and Mike are going to be trolling those little company booths, and there's a ton of small companies. Like, everybody, I'm going to try and flip this because my arm's getting tired. No, okay, that didn't work. So if my hand gets in the way, you'll just have to deal with it. New rods and reels, yeah. And like I said, now, Daiwa's got a few things. I'm going to check them out. I always check Shimano out. Check out some of those companies. I don't know how many companies. I've seen a few rods. Lew's, like I said, I've already seen Lew's. I've seen some of the stuff. And some of the stuff is just kind of upgrade. Now, I will say that Lew's is coming out with a KVD Elite. And I think it's like $150 or maybe 130. I don't remember the price point on that. And it's actually pretty cool because they've got this new drag system, this new gear system that they've got in that's on some of the really higher end stuff. And I think that's pretty interesting. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot from Shimano. I haven't seen a lot from Daiwa. I've seen a little bit from Daiwa, a couple of spinning rods. They look pretty good. We'll have to see what the price point is on that. Rods, man, I'll tell you what. Rods, yeah, I do believe it is red, by the way. Okay. Yeah, Pure Fishing, they're gonna be. I mean, which I can't blame them for not being down here because they just invested a ton of money on a little brand new facility, I think in South Carolina. So, I mean, I think everybody's like, oh, Pure Fishing's not showing up. ICAST is dead. Really? I never was too much of a fan of Pure Fishing anyway. I mean, they got about 3 good products. Well, it's the Finisher, the some of the, their soft plastics. Obligado went brain dead. I mean, there's not that many things that they really put out other than just, sad part about it is everybody thinks the Credge is better than the Finisher. I can tell you they ain't fished either one of them right, but sorry. I'm being brutal, man. I'm being brutal. I've drove for, yeah, like I'm literally, like I can look out the window and see the convention center, like the big glass blue arches from where we're at. So, in Orlando, by the way. I mean, I think SeaWorld is legitimately like right behind this building. I mean, I've not been a fan of Abu's stuff for a while now. It's been so hit or miss. The Ugly Stick, I seen some stuff from them that I'm going to go buy. And so they're with Rather. They're actually owned by the same people that owns Lew's. you know. Or not, is it Ugly Stick? No, it's Zebco. Maybe that's who it is. I can't remember anyway. So anyway, I do like some of the Ugly Stick stuff. I like that what they've done, especially with what's his name coming out with their own rods. Lucky Strike. I'd like to see them. I don't know if they're going to be here. Well, I mean, you know, I didn't get like this without liking good dessert. So that's a good tip. I appreciate that. I don't know what we're going to do tonight for food. We'll probably just DoorDash a pizza or something. Uh, I know there's a good seafood place just down the road. I know me and Joey, when I brought Joey down here a couple of years ago, we hit it. It was pretty good. Uh, don't get me started about food. Man, I haven't been on Soho here lately. Well, since like first couple of weeks of June, so I hadn't been out on Soho a little bit. Yeah, you know, but we are going to come back and hit Soho. We got a couple of small lakes in Virginia we like to fish this time of year, which are really, really fun little lakes to go fish. And we got a couple of fishing videos that are coming. We catch some, but we lose some. I'll just give you a little bit of warning. You know, it was a little bit tough on me there one day, but we had a good time. It was fun. So my goal in it's twofold. So for me, yes, of course, I want to come down and, you know, meet some of my sponsors that I already work with, pick up some other sponsors, while at the same time trying to just stay ahead of the game, find stuff. Because, you know, I know a lot of guys are always like, oh, you know, the same old stuff works the same old. But it's really, that's getting harder and harder to do. And I can go out to lakes where I've fished spots and thrown swim baits before. And I mean, if you go back, I mean, I was cracking them on swim baits, big swim baits, way back in the day, 8, 9 years ago, 10 years ago. And I can go out there and throw those things now. And if I get a bite, I'm lucky. So to me, it is about being able to stay ahead of the curve, being able to do things with baits that maybe they're not normally doing. Because what happens a lot of times with what I do is that when I put a fishing video out, everybody goes fishes those areas. Whether I tell you it's on Soho or Top Secret Lake P, those places get drilled. So what I have to do is constantly be ahead of the curve, because I'm not a pro. So I'm not out here fishing all over the U.S. I'm fishing the same 5 or 6 lakes every single year. And when I go out and do things and put it on video, people go to those places and they fish them. So my job is to learn more, be ahead of the curve, and be there quicker than most of the other anglers are. I mean, on Soho, you know, 8 years ago, I had people go out and, oh yeah, we're definitely doing a video at the show. It's, well, I mean, you know, so Aquaholic, what's not an aggressive sales event? I mean, number one, actually, this is not, and I learned this the hard way. So this is not, they're not there to sell you stuff. They're not there to sell me stuff. Like, they're not even there to talk to me. They're there to sell to people like the bait shops down the road, to Pittman Creek, to Tackle Warehouse, to Omnia. So, you know, but that's fine, Drew. That's why I do it, though. I'm not upset about that. Don't get me wrong. But it just means I understand I have to keep doing things. Sorry, I'm all over the place because I'm answering. But, you know, to Aquaholic, I mean, of course they're trying to sell stuff. I mean, why would they be coming out with new stuff? I mean, that's the name of any game, any sales stuff. I mean, you're not going to own a business and not come out with something new. Now, and not try to sell it, because the old stuff gets stale. You know, it's just how it works. Yeah, man, I love ledge heads. That's still my number one go-to bigger swim bait head if we're talking about the bass tricks, the bass munitions. I'm using Ramsey now. Again, not sponsored by any of these companies that we're talking about. They're all small mom and pop companies that I just love their baits. And I mean, if you're making the best bait, I'm going to go use your bait. So, but ledge head is the best. And what's really funny is I think where I've been fishing other things so much and the topwater stuff so much for the past 2 or 3 years on one of my little secret lakes, a lot of people have gotten away from fishing the underspin, and the ledge head, and we went out, and that's one of the videos. One of the videos, it pays off. It pays off. It circles back around. Whoever said everything is just reinvented is, you know, hard swim baits. Hey, speaking of which, you want to talk about something insane? Like, this is something that I'm definitely going to talk about. Who's seen the Spro multiple hard swim baits from, oh my God, I've got a bunch. The Chad, the guy from KGB Baits. It's multiple Chads together. Who has seen that? I know I have, and I'm jacked up. Like, number one, I want to know how daggone heavy that thing's going to be. How are you going to cast that son of a bitch, you know? Sorry if there's kids. But how are you going to cast that thing? I mean, that thing's got to be like, are you going to have a surf rod? Like, is it going to be like, you know, 30 ounces? I don't know what that's like. We're talking pounds of weight. So that's going to be an interesting deal. Like, I cannot wait to go check that out. I think that's an innovative bait, or an innovative way to rig a bait. Trolling for striper, yeah. That bait, I could very well see trolling that thing. So, I mean, that's insane. That bait's insane. Like, I don't know if I'd ever catch anything off of it in the little fish lakes I fish, but, you know, as Debo would say, the Debo dinks that I fish for 90% of the time, but man alive, I'd sure like to throw it to see what happens. I mean, it'd have to draw every daggone fish off the bottom up to at least look at it, and in them clear lakes I fish, at least I'm going to get to look at them and see where they're at. That's an interesting concept. Seen a lot of good line. I know Daiwa's coming out with, you know, some updated line. That's going to be interesting to go look at. You know, there's just a lot of good companies out there. And it's like I said, what I can't wait to do is go check out, because this is definitely what me and Mike's going to do. We're going to go troll a lot of these small companies. Because as great as all the big companies are, there's, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 booths for the big companies. There's hundreds of booths for the little guys, and that's That's the juice right there. That's the juice. Never forget that. That's the juice. These small companies are making great strides in baits. That's what I want to go find. Because realistically, man, most American companies are, they're kind of copying stuff right now. The bigger companies are. So, and look, I'm always the one that will argue with you all the time. That I'll be like, well, name me one company that don't have a stick bait. Who made the first stick bait? Who made the first beaver? Why do we refer to it as a beaver? Now how many companies got one that looks almost just like it? So they, how's the old saying go? Something is the highest form of flattery. It's not copying, but it's whatever. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does come from small companies. I always say Z-Man didn't invent the chatterbait. They didn't. They bought it because he couldn't keep up with the demand of the inventory. So he sold it because he wanted to see that bait go on. Yeah, you're right. They only give out so much. They will give you a little, but I mean, I'm not here. I don't want anybody to give me any baits or anything. I just want to go find some cool stuff that I'm going to get to fish with in the future. Again, be ahead of that curve, right? Be ahead of that curve. Be out there throwing something that's not what everybody else is throwing on those same fish that I fished for, 30 years. Because that's the deal. I mean, think about this. Okay, what's tougher? And I guess they both have their own sort of components. But how many times have you gone out and you've thrown your favorite bait at these bass that you fished on your home lake over and over and over, and they just won't bite it. And they just kind of stop biting it. And maybe they stop biting it for 2-3 years. And I mean, that's what I run into. Except when I do a fishing video, it's not just me throwing that bait on those fish. Again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it forces me to fish all these new baits and try all these new baits and try to find new baits that catch them in ways that maybe people aren't talking about. I seen somebody who come up and the koiki, I never remember, the little hairy ball, and the guy come up and he said, hey, he said, of course, Hank would have the best rigging and info video on that bait. So, yes. I mean, and that's me probably giving away, like I'll be honest, man, like the Viva Sky pencil, that little bait is sick. It is sick. That little topwater bait, and there's such a good summer topwater bite out over the ledges in some of the lakes that I fish, and that little bait has got destroyed. I lost I caught a 4 on it the other day, and lost one that I think was bigger because, user error. I was maybe leaning on it a little much, forced it to bend the hook out. I think it was a big smallmouth. You still have not found those trailers to the bone jigs? Well, I might be able to help you out with that. Might have to holler at me. Yeah, it's just hard to find new water. I mean, man, I feel like I've just started a crybaby fest here for me. I'm crying. I'm with you. I love to go fish new places, and I try to change it up a little bit. But right now, there's a couple of lakes like Cherokee and Douglas that are so down. It's like, why go there and maybe catch 10 or 12, or if you're lucky, 14 pounds, when I can stay on a couple of the other lakes that are closer and still catch like 16 for a best 5 if if it's a good day, and 10 or 12 every single day. So I don't know. It's tough. I know I need to get out there and fish those a little bit more, do a little bit better. Yeah, again, it was not the fish. It was me and the way I was playing the fish. If you, it's why I always talk about rod, reel, line setup. Rod, reel, line is extremely important for every bait that you use. And I understand you can't have 1,000 rods and reels. Over the years, I've become very particular of my setups for individual baits that I like to throw a lot. And that was 100% my fault, because that fish was digging, and I was leaning on it, trying to get it to me a little too much, and it bent one of the hooks out. So it could have been a walleye too. I don't know. I didn't get to see it. All right, now I'm not the greatest in frogs. If we're talking about hollow body frogs, number one, I'm going to always ask, if we're talking about frogs, are we talking about frogs over cover? Because I'll be the first to tell you, if it's me, I want a longer rod, and it's going to have to be a pretty good, pretty stiff rod. I think a 6.6 medium fast is going to be very light for a frog rod if it's a hollow body frog. Even in open water where it's got those double hooks, that medium is going to be, it's going to be a little, those are big hooks. Like, I mean, the bare minimum, and you guys tell me, because I don't know as much about frog fishing as a lot of you guys out there do. I'm thinking minimum in open water, not around a lot of cover, is a medium heavy, fast, extra fast maybe. So, the Berkeley baits are good. Those are sort of the go-tos right now. Oh my God, I cannot remember the name of them. Somebody please tell me. You can't go wrong with any sort of worm, especially if you're around largemouth. Just a good worm, and I'd probably say the best ones and the go-tos are probably always going to be like a Good Morning Dawn color from Robo Worms. That's always going to be a great starting point. I have not heard any updates from Trapper hooks. I would like to check back on those again. Hey, Matt, you fish from the bank. Do you fish ponds a lot? Tell me if you fish ponds a lot, Matt. Right here, Brian is going to be your man on this. You can do a medium heavy with 30-pound braid. Right there you go, with open water. So if he's fishing in, if he's fishing, say, grass mats, Brian, what would you recommend there? Right here's the Florida fishing machine, Mr. Brian Lee. But yeah. 65 pound. Now, would you still go with a medium, like a medium heavy? I would think a heavy with like maybe a mod tip, mod fast. I'm learning here too. Nice. And I'm kind of like Debo. Like, I got a couple of buddies, man. They love the drop shot. I'm not a huge drop shot guy. What is it? It's not the Max scent. Is it? Is it the Max scent? The Berkeley stuff. Hey man, I'm telling you, I keep begging people to do this. especially as it gets later in the summer. Get a jig head minnow and go out there to those ponds and throw it and just shake it and reel it back to you. Find the deepest part of the ponds and do this for me. And then by the way, this is something that I really am excited about. So on mobile, I know you can do it. I don't know if you can do it on like a PC, and I'm sure you can't do it on a TV. But go to, at least on your phone, go to the YouTube Bass Geek page and put, you can actually post. So, post your pictures, your fishing pictures. I generally ask like, hey, how'd your weekends go? Post a picture, show us your bass. What was last month's, because we don't want to give away this month's best baits. Post some pictures of them, that sort of stuff. Man, it's hard to get away from a Kitech. It is sick. And I'll tell you something else. Now listen. Go get some of the easy shiners. I'm telling you, especially in the summer, get some of the easy shiners. And they make those things huge. Like I've got some, what was the big ones? Were they 7, 8 inches? Those easy shiners. Like I think so. They're right there. Basic glide bait, Jared. Back glide bait. Bass are fun. It's listen, it's an addiction. I mean, it's a real addiction. The whole tackle thing. I mean, tackle junkie. Is that not a perfect name for a bass fisherman? Tackle junkie. I am a tackle junkie. I will admit it. Backslide. I'm lost. Sorry. I don't know that I've fished one of those. That's a particular type of glide bait? I don't know that I've fished one. I try to keep my glide baits pretty simplistic. I got a few like from bull shad that are actually glide baits. I've got a few from KGB. The rest of them are kind of just brand names that I play with some. Oh, the Japanese technique. I don't know that I've used that. Well, that's a good time to catch them, because if they're feeding on bluegill or shell cracker or something like that, you can catch some big ones. Some big ones. Hey, I'm telling you, the easy shiners, especially, man, pre-spawn. I think I did a video on this talking about fine, but when they get really finicky, like right before they go up on the bed, I'm telling you, 2 and 3 inch easy shiner and that 2.75 X-Zone swammer. That swammer, when I first seen the swammer, I'm gonna be honest. What's going on, Shannon Wallen? I didn't think the swammer. Okay, I'll call him back in a minute. I didn't think that swammer. I didn't think the swammer looked like much, but dude, you put that sucker on a ball head, and it has got a body roll to it that is to die for. And it's something that you just don't see in a lot of your smaller swim baits. That Swammer, man, just such a good body roll to it. Yeah, and you know, I'm falling in love with a lot of Exxon stuff right now. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I'm some of the next things that I'm gonna get from them. Like, I fell in love probably with their Whiplash shad first, and that is like one of my top. Like my two or three top like soft plastic jerk baits have got to be like for me because I fish clear deep water. A caffeine shad, a Whiplash shad, a fluke. That's kind of how it goes for me. Now I'm probably leaving a couple out somewhere, but those are top three without a doubt. Well, listen, Matt, I'll tell you right now, man. Look, I used to throw a head and spook and a buzz bait on a Shakespeare $14 combo from Walmart. So, yes, you can get the job done and catch some fish on anything that you have. I mean, so, you know, when you hear me talking about like really honing in, I mean, that's like years and years. I'm 51, and I've been bass fishing for 30 plus years, 40 maybe, right in that high 30. I'll say 35 plus years. So, and I still got a lot of stuff from back then. Like it's, you know, I've got some of the first Senkos, I've got Sluggos, you know, I've got some of the first caffeine tubes. So, yeah, man, you know, so don't freak out, man. I got a lot of stuff now, but that's taken years. Again, it's taken 35 plus years to accumulate this stuff. You know, I was telling somebody the other day, yeah, just grab what you got and hit the water, man. Just go fish. You know, you'll learn. That's how you'll learn. Because there's no way, like, I can tell you what I like in a certain rod, but when I tell you guys in my videos, this is what I like, everybody's hands are different, just like everybody sees things different. So you're going to maybe like the same thing I do, but you may not. You may be fishing a completely different situation. You may be fishing a completely different area, and you just may not have that, and that's okay. Just go fishing. I mean, that's what it all really boils down to. Get out there and learn. And a lot of times, again, I think everybody in here can agree, the best way to learn is go fishing. Go fishing, dang it. We all have a different budget. That's right. That's right. And a lot of times, look, I go back to this story. I told somebody just the other day, you know, I fished out of a 12 or 14, one or the other, foot John boat. And when I say a John boat, I don't mean it had a trailer. I mean it was, one was chained up to the lake that I grew up fishing, chained up to a tree, and I'd take a car battery and a motor guide trolling motor with us. That's back when I was probably early teens, pre-teens. And I fished out of that sort of stuff. And again, we're not talking about it. It didn't have no deck. Didn't have seats in them for the longest time until I remember Walmart came out with those seats that clamped down on those seats. Y'all ever had any of those? Because, man, my big fat ass would get in those things. If I'd lean back, I'd almost roll into the lake. Because they never would get tight enough. I'd almost roll out, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, bucket for your seat. I mean, it's whatever you can do. You know, I remember I was working at Hardee's, man. And I remember going fishing one day, and I had on a pair of shorts that might have been a little too short. Hell, I couldn't walk at night at Hardee's because I got sunburnt way up my thighs. The good old days. But, you know, man, I didn't buy my first bass boat my Triton was my first bass boat. If y'all been around the channel, you've seen Ruby, which I sold her, and these people are getting a great time out of that boat. I was 32 when I bought that boat. And so my Camus is it's taken a long time to get there. It's taken a long time. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to me. I'm lucky enough to have you geeks, and you geeks have allowed me to live in a dream world. And when it comes to bass fishing, but just understand at the same time, we all start. 90% of us bass anglers start dirt ass poor, just to be honest. I mean, I did. And I lived before the house I lived in now, I lived in a 635 square foot house, raised 2 kids in that house. 635 square foot. By the time we finally got rid of it, I could lay in my bed, and if it rained real hard, it'd be like a waterfall coming down the wall. So I wasn't spending money to fix it because we knew we was going to tear it down. But, that's just where we come from. So don't worry about it, man. That's some of the stuff. You'll get there. You'll get better. You'll learn. And, like I say, just go fishing. There you go. You just, those last 3 sentences. Yeah. Look, I'm lucky enough that I get to, I have said this, you can go back forever. There ain't a damn thing special about me. I've been married 31 years. Trust me, my wife tells me constantly, ain't anything special about me. The only thing special about me is that you guys get to y'all come hang out with me. And that's the only reason why I get to be here, and I get to do the things that I get to do. So, Shannon, I'm leaving that out. She's been, again, 31 years. She ain't impressed, so. But anyway, I do got to get off here. I just wanted to say, keep an eye out. I don't know how much in the way of live streams at the show we're going to do. We're going to try and do maybe 1, maybe 2. Tomorrow might be a real good time. I do want to get out there and get my hands, because this is one of the first times, like, they have on the water testing. So I want to actually get out there and get my hands on some reels and stuff so that I can actually tell you geeks what I think about them, how they feel to me. And again, we're all different. It's okay that I hate something, you love something, you love something, or vice versa there. Yeah, that didn't go right. But you know what I'm saying. But I will, Shannon. And Shannon, man, you got to get out on the boat with me, dude. You got to get out on the boat, like, when I get back. Because the topwater bite is about to be off the chart, I believe. I believe it's about to be off the chart. So, yeah, we're going to go get some pizza. So when we were coming in, about the last 4 or 5 miles, we run into a ton of traffic in downtown Orlando, and then a downpour hit. And then, I always try to make sure that I'm gassed up, and especially when you're traveling, because you never know when you're going to get in that. So I never let it get past like a quarter of a tank. Now, I wasn't paying no attention, man. So I got to go get gas, too. I'd really have hated to have been walking in a thunderstorm downpour on the side of Orlando to go get gas for my truck. But we made it. We made it. So we're good. But that was funny. Yeah, it was hard. It was like, it was, it's hard. That was a good hard rain. All right, geeks, love each and every one of you. Appreciate you. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to jump off here. And again, tomorrow we'll be right there in that building somewhere. And then we'll be outside in Florida dying of heat, probably. A fat man's worst nightmare, humidity and heat. So Luckily, the rain cooled it off here, but I figure tomorrow it's going to be pretty interesting. All right. Yeah, text me, man. Yeah, that's absolutely cool. I want to try to. I know they say they have some fish in that pond where you get to test the baits out, so hopefully I catch my first big Florida bass and in a pond, because I think every pond down here has a 10-pounder. Brian, come on. What's going on, Chris, man? You doing good? All right, I'm out, geeks. Love you. You geeks rock.